Welcome to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo.
And I'm Mike Favetta. Thanks for joining us and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Dinner prices.
Thanksgiving.
I know, I'm so excited to get to it because Thanksgiving dinner is a big part of the Thanksgiving holiday. And dinner prices this year, Lisa Marie, are higher despite slower food inflation. But choosing store brand items, that's the good news, can over national brands help you save a little bit of money. That's according to Wells Fargo. A store brand Thanksgiving meal for 10, including turkey and classic sides, cost almost $73 less than when using name brand products, a pretty big savings. While store brand prices are up 2% from last year, they can still offer significant savings by foregoing marketing costs.
And shoppers should be cautious of turkey promotions, as grocers may offset discounts by raising prices on other items. While most store brand products remain a cost effective option, exceptions like cranberries, where name brands are cheaper this season, highlight the need to compare prices carefully. Wow, it's a lot of math. Too much math is
There
going
is, but
into Turkey Day.
it's a good point about the free turkey because you always see there's a small spend that you have to hit to get your free turkey. But then again, you might not realize that, yeah, some of the other sides or essentials could be inflated to offset the costs. So that's a very good point.
Well, let's dive into your Thanksgiving plans. What do you have on tap
Sure.
for your family?
So this year it is all about sitting back and letting everybody else do the work. So I will be taking care of my wife, the mom to be, at 36 and a half weeks pregnant. So we are taking it easy this year and wondering if, a little unexpected Thanksgiving turkey could pop out at any time. So we're
Oh,
just kind of letting it ride, if you will. Let the family do the rest of the work.
well, please emphasize the relaxation because
Yes.
this time next year, you will not be relaxing at all.
No.
Take it from me. You will have a little critter climbing and running, and it just madness.
I'm excited about that.
I know. I know. Well, you do have a lot to be thankful for. Becoming a parent is the most exciting, most wonderful thing ever.
Very excited about that, and also thankful for the opportunity to bring you the morning show with the expansion of weather, all those days that New Jersey can keep ahead of the forecast. Exciting times ahead.
Oh, yeah, 2025 for On New Jersey will be off the hook. I can't wait. But I'm really thankful to be here with you because I don't remember the last time I guest hosted the morning show. It's been a
I know. I
really
think I had a
long
little bit
time.
less gray hair. It was a while ago. And kind of on that note, we always would talk about food, and we still talk about food.
Yes.
As the tradition of the morning show continues. What are some of your favorite foods for Thanksgiving?
So, you know what's funny? The turkey is so secondary. And I know you
Yeah.
relate to that being Italian.
Hmm.
So, the first course, my father makes these amazing rice balls, like authentic Sicilian rice balls.
Oh,
So,
okay.
once you have one of those, like you're kind of full. And then there's like a big antipasto platter, shrimp
Yeah.
cocktail. So,
Hmm.
like all the traditional stuff is so second nature.
I agree that the Italian American Thanksgiving has a very different look to it, as some young people may say, a different vibe. Because when I, explained to the traditional Americans about our Thanksgiving traditions, and I explained lasagna being the first course, they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yes, it's what happens, and it's great." And like you said, with the rice ball, you kind of fill up, and you're not really in the mood to have poultry right after.
Exactly, exactly. But obviously, football, that's a big tradition. The Giants are playing the Cowboys. Neither team is having a great season, but
Mm.
there's the Cowboy hatred, it's so real. So even though it doesn't matter what the Giants do, beating up on the Cowboys on Thanksgiving would be very sweet.
But there's a even better event and a spectacle that happens on TV earlier that morning, and I know that your daughter is so excited about it. She lives for it. Tell us more about this.
The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. She has been obsessed with this for a couple years now to the point where her birthday's in March. But when she turned 2, I made it the theme of her birthday party where I brought it to life. I got Rockettes. It was a whole thing. And we sit there with pajamas and we make an
Uh huh.
event and we watch all the balloons. And there's a lot of balloons, new ones happening this year. Minnie Mouse being one of them. So I'm really excited.
There's a lot of new balloons this year. It's exciting. I've been to the parade twice, and it's a lot of fun. It's really cool to be to have the privilege of a seat. It's really nice
Yeah.
along the parade because you see the other side and how they've been standing there since 5 in the morning. And we're like, oh, we're sitting here in our little comfy cozy, with our hot chocolate. But yes, it's always a lot of fun to see the parade and enjoy it. And it's a great time whether you're there or also at home. So plenty of things to enjoy and plenty of things to look forward to this Thanksgiving season.
Yes, yes, that is definitely on my bucket list to take her one day live and to hopefully have a seat. If we are going, Mike, we got to go in style. You know that.
You do.
Well, coming up, we'll give you all the best tips to stay healthy this holiday season.
Welcome back. You're watching the New Jersey Morning Show Thanksgiving edition. I'm Mike Favetta along with Lisa Marie Falbo. Campbell's Soup Company, the iconic New Jersey-based company, has received shareholder approval to rebrand itself as Campbell's Company, reflecting its broader product portfolio beyond soup. While the new name highlights the company's ownership of brands like Prego, Goldfish, and Rayo's pasta sauces, the red and white Campbell's Soup label, synonymous with the 155-year history, will remain unchanged.
This rebranding aligns Campbell's with other companies like Dunkin' and KFC, which have modernized their names to emphasize diverse offerings. The transition follows Campbell's recent $2.7 billion acquisition of Sovos Brands, further signaling its expansion into premium food categories. Mike, you will get to know the power of Goldfish in about a year as well, because that is just one of the most magical shut-up snacks.
I remember
arsenal.
watching my nieces. I would always stick a little Goldfish in the little toddler cup with the little, I guess it's like a lid with, you can stick your hand in, but they don't fall out. Brilliant invention. And yeah, it does. It keeps them occupied for a few minutes.
For a few minutes, yeah. Then you're on to the next, and you got to figure out. Yes, it's a lot of juggling, but it's all good.
Forward.
Yes. Well, everybody loves to feast during the holidays, but how are certain foods affecting your health? Joining us now to give us some healthier tips this holiday season is registered dietitian nutritionist at Ahara Med, Jordan Anthony. Jordan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Good to see you both.
Great to see you as well. Great to have you here. So Jordan, tell us, what exactly is food noise and why does it become such a challenge during the holiday season?
I think the easiest way to describe something called food noise is kind of that constant internal chatter that people have about food. So, is this the correct portion size? How many calories should I be eating? But then also getting that guilt around food. So, they're categorizing food as good food versus bad food, just constantly worrying about what they should be eating. Should I be eating this much? Should I not be eating this much? So just a constant thought about food.
It really is. So I'm going into a holiday season. I mean, there's a party, a dinner almost every night, right?
Right.
So there's a lot of social pressure to eat at those meals because otherwise, people look at you funny. So what are some practical strategies people can use to manage the food noise without feeling deprived or overwhelmed?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is starting your day off strong. So getting a well-balanced breakfast in, making sure that there's a protein source there, making sure you're getting fiber. Some really quick and easy ideas I love are making a quick chia seed pudding, putting some walnuts and berries on top, just making sure you're going into kind of the party with a balanced meal in you. Also, I think working with a dietitian. So at Ahara, we really help people kind of establish healthy habits, how to maintain a healthy relationship with food. So just these little tools that you can go into the holiday season feeling really confident with your food choices.
So beyond the mental kind of focus of choosing the right food, there's also the medicine approach. And we've talked a little bit about GLP-1s. Can you describe how these GLP-1 medications have been shown to reduce the food noise and improve mental health for those who might consider benefiting from them?
Right. So I think a lot of people know GLP-1s are great for weight loss, but there's tons of research coming out that it also helps with those intrusive food thoughts. So the guilt that people feel around food, the obsessive eating that they feel, GLP-1s have been shown to kind of combat this, which is really helping people not only lose weight and eat more standard portions, but also really helping them enjoy food without feeling that extra guilt.
Yeah, it's been a magical drug for so many. But for those
Yeah.
not using GLP-1 medications, what lifestyle changes or habits can people adopt to naturally quiet food noise?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is building healthy habits, building a balanced plate. So, ensuring you're getting your vegetables, your protein, high fiber foods to really help you feel full. Working with a dietitian to maintain building a healthy relationship with food. Also, just getting fresh air. I think a lot of the times during the holidays, we go to people's homes, we're sitting a lot, maybe going on a walk with your family, doing some stretching in the morning. I think fresh air really helps. So just, enjoy the holidays, but also enjoy the food, enjoy the family around you, and just try to incorporate, getting enough sleep and physical activity and really balancing your plate with nutrient dense foods.
Very good.
Well, Jordan, if someone wants to make those changes and get more tips and information, where can they find you?
You can go to aharamed.com, find lots of information about the GLP-1 medications, also about our dietitian services that we offer. So schedule a consultation, meet with somebody on our team who can help you really establish a healthy relationship with food during the holidays.
Registered dietitian and nutritionist at Aharamed, Jordan Anthony. Thank you so much for joining us on the New Jersey Morning
Thank you
Show.
for having me. Good to
It's so true, Lisa Marie. Around the holidays, it's hard to stay on track with so much noise, as she said. On the plate, on the antipasto dish, in the plate and the platter of rice balls and the tray of lasagna. Yeah, just thinking about it is making me hungry.
Ah, well, we got to get through this show so we can go and eat, right? So we'll take a break and we'll be right back here on the New Jersey Morning Show.
Welcome back. You're watching the New Jersey Morning Show, Thanksgiving edition. I'm Mike Favetta, along with Lisa Marie Falbo. We have a friend of the morning show and one of our favorite celebrity guest chefs coming up in just a moment. But first, we got to tell you about a fun activity. Rowan University's Edelman Fossil Park and Museum is set to open in 2025, offering an immersive experience into the prehistoric world. The museum will showcase the profound events of the fifth mass extinction, which wiped out the dinosaurs and 75% of species on Earth, through jaw-dropping exhibits, life-size recreations of ancient creatures, and live animal encounters. Wow.
That sounds so awesome. The fossil park, built on a globally significant paleontological site, has uncovered bones from over 100 species. The museum promises to be a major destination for dinosaur enthusiasts and history lovers, I'm sure, like our Mike Favetta, highlighting New Jersey's rich fossil heritage. Something else to take the baby.
I know all about the Triceratops. Had it as a kid. I'll probably find it, in some bin somewhere in an attic and pass it along to generations.
Oh, that's so fun. You're going to love just passing along your favorite traditions and things to the next generation. There's nothing better. But anyway, the holidays are always a time for family fun and, most importantly, food. Joining us now is Chef Mia Castro to show us all the best tips and recipes to try this holiday season. Chef, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me again.
Oh, it's great to have you back. So tell us, we see a beautiful spread there in front of you. What recipes do you have to share with us today?
So I'm working with ShopRite to bring some Latin flavors to your holiday celebrations. And I'm from Puerto Rico, so of course I made coquito, which is a creamy coconut spice beverage. And I'm not gonna call it just like eggnog, but it's, along those lines. I made it with some condensed milk, evaporated milk, coconut milk, and Coco Lopez. And because Thanksgiving is all about leftovers, I make French toast with the leftover coquito by just adding eggs and dipping some of this local challah bread And yeah, and then I brulee it a little bit, just some a little extra. And yeah, it's a great decadent breakfast or dessert.
Wow, I never thought to turn Thanksgiving leftovers into gorgeous French toast like you have in front of you. That's just amazing. Why are recipes and ingredients like this so special this time of year?
Well, at ShopRite, I can find all the Latin ingredients that I normally wouldn't be able to find or would make it really difficult. So it's like a one-stop shop to find everything I need. Like this Coco Lopez, it's a childhood favorite, and it's kind of like a concentrated coconut syrup, which is what gives my coquito that like distinctive flavor. And then the rest of these ingredients are bowl and basket. It's their value driven line, which makes it really affordable as well.
You know, I'm so glad you mentioned that there's so many experiences available for those that may not want to venture out of that traditional kind of American straight and narrow holiday, but adding some flavor. Like when I first discovered adobo seasoning, life changing, right? Something that was so unique and so interesting, and yet to add it as like an extra flavor to certain, Thanksgiving dishes might spark some interest. So, what are some tips that you can provide to for those that might not be as adventurous to go out there and maybe explore some of those flavors that ShopRite can offer?
So their shelves are stocked with all of these ingredients. I speak especially to the Latin ones. So yes, they have different spice blends like adobo, and they have different brands. So you can actually pick your favorite brand and not just stick to one. They have sofrito, which is a blend of different vegetables and aromatics to flavor your rices and stews. And yeah, what I love is their variety.
Variety is the spice of life. What does the holiday season mean to you, and what is your favorite way to celebrate?
Well, to me, it's all about tradition and family and cultura, culture. And my favorite way to celebrate is around the dinner table with tons of food and some boozy cocktails.
Yes, underestimated the power of that coquito. It is life changing for sure. So what inspired you to team up with ShopRite for this holiday season?
They have all the ingredients I need, and they're also very committed to supporting local communities. Like their branches are family owned. They're also committed to fighting hunger, like ShopRite, Partners in Carings. They have an initiative to raise money for families in need. They raised $65 million dollars in the last 25 years. And this year they donated 10,000 turkeys to food banks across 6 states.
That is unbelievable. ShopRite and their partners, they just do so much around New Jersey, and they deserve to be applauded. Where can we find out more recipes and tips, Chef?
You can find them on my Instagram at Chef Mia Castro. And then you can also check out shoprite.com for digital coupons and for their Price Plus card.
Great. Well, Chef, happy Thanksgiving. Happy holidays. We look forward to seeing you back here soon.
Thank you so much.
Oh, that French toast looked unbelievable.
It
Wow.
looked amazing, considering they can have a little boozy brunch in there with,
Yeah.
including the coquito right in the French toast. That is a treat. Every time she mentioned ShopRite, I think of the Can sale commercial that has been
Yes,
around for decades. Yeah, it's iconic New Jersey.
it is. It is. Well, we'll be right back with more iconic New Jersey.
Welcome back. You're watching the Thanksgiving edition of the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Mike Favetta here with Lisa Marie Falbo on New Jersey. The McCarter Theater in Princeton is starting its production of A Christmas Carol. Joining us now to tell us about it is Martin Miller, the executive director of McCarter Theater. Martin, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, we're so excited to dive in. Charles Dickens wrote A Christmas Carol in 1843, but the story is still so appealing today. Why is that?
You know, it is there are few stories that people know better than A Christmas Carol. If you found someone who couldn't tell you who Ebenezer Scrooge is, I would be fascinated to meet them and a little concerned. I think that the story resonates so well for our audiences today as they did hundreds of years ago, because we all sometimes need a little reminder about thinking about more than just ourselves and going out and finding a sense of community, whether that's with your family, with your friends, or literally with the people who are all around you going about their lives every day. Whether they're not as lucky as you are, whether or not they are, there's always a connection to be made there, and especially around the holidays. I also think too, it's just kind of fun to watch seeing those spooky ghosts arrive and kind of give a little comeuppance to a guy who's been a bit of a grouch and giving him that chance for redemption. It's just a delightful piece of storytelling and a great piece of theater.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so much has changed in 181 years since the original story was penned. So what is different about this performance that's more relatable, and what can audiences expect?
Well, this year we're really excited to welcome back Joel McKinnon Miller as Ebenezer Scrooge. A lot of people know him as a star of TV and film. He was on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I was just watching The Truman Show with my kid the other day, and he popped up there as well. He actually started his career in theater, however, and he's just an amazing and warm and charismatic performer on the stage, from the way that he gives that trademark "bah humbug" all the way to the moment at the end where he's got Tiny Tim on his shoulders. This year, they've added even more special effects, little touches of magic, music throughout the show. And we're welcoming a whole new ensemble of young kids from throughout the community to join our professional cast. And it is so fun to watch them. So I think people are going to just feel enlivened and activated by that energy on stage when they come see it again at McCarter this year.
You talk about the young cast. How are you curating them for the show?
Well, McCarter has a long history of working with kids through our training programs. We have one of the busiest. Every time I'm here in the summer, I have to step aside in the hallways for kids running down the hall because we have so many different training programs going on. So we've gotten really used to working with kids and helping them bring out their creativity and really activate the way that they connect with each other on stage. And these are some of the most talented kids that we work with all year who come together to work in this ensemble. And they get to work right alongside these working Broadway professionals, people who have been across the country and on TV and film. For them, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I, in fact, chatted with somebody in the audience last year who told me that his son was the first Tiny Tim. And this was an older gentleman. He says now all 4 generations of his family, including his son, his son's kids, and their grandkids are now coming to see the show. So it's really something that sticks with you.
Yeah, what a legacy.
That is exciting. So tell us, because you're telling this story at McCarter Theater, why is it important to showcase the story there?
I first moved to Princeton. I was just an audience member at McCarter, and the quality, what really blew me away was first of all, the quality of the performances. These are top tier professionals that are on stage, but also just spectacular sets, lighting, these full Victorian costumes, working with choreographers to get every moment, every dance just right. There's something about going and seeing it fully produced like that at an institution like McCarter, which is, of course, won the Regional Tony Award, is one of the most celebrated institutions in the performing arts across the country. When you see it at that level of quality, but it's right there in front on a screen, separating you from those performers on stage. For kids, for adults, it's just unforgettable. That's what live theater can do.
I also love how inclusive McCarter is. You're offering special performances of A Christmas Carol with an American Sign Language interpretation, a relaxed performance, and an audio-described and open-captioned performance. I just love how accessible you have made that. And how do these audiences respond?
McCarter is a nonprofit organization. We're a charitable company, mission-driven. We're a public trust, and for that, to be able to do that, to really achieve that role, trust, we need to make sure our audiences really reflect the entire. So part of that is having a commitment to access. Access can mean having programs like our Stage Door program, which means that anyone who wants to come, whether or not they can afford a ticket, has an avenue to attend. But other means of access also include making sure that someone who has a hearing impairment or is unable to see the stage, or people who need a different sensory environment might otherwise feel excluded from the normal audience expectations for a show. Or learning disabilities, autism, anxiety. We want to give them a setting where they feel just as welcome as everybody else who comes in to see the show. So that's what these varied performance offerings can do. I really encourage anyone who has someone in their family who would benefit from an environment like that to give us a call and talk to us about how we can invite them to join us, because that's what the holidays are all about, having everyone together.
That's so special. And for those that want to grab tickets and see the schedule, the website is mccarter.org/A Christmas Carol. Martin Miller, Executive Director of the McCarter Theaters, thank you so much for joining us on the New Jersey Morning Show.
Thank you. Can't wait to see you all at the theater.
How exciting is that?
Yeah, and again, it's just so beautiful that they make everybody feel welcome and warm, and it's a great holiday story.
That really does speak to the holiday meaning and the meaning of Christmas. So that really is special.
Yep. Well, we have more New Jersey Morning Show coming up next.
Welcome back. You're watching On New Jersey's New Jersey Morning Show, Thanksgiving edition. I'm Mike Favetta along with Lisa Marie Falbo. Some big business news here in New Jersey, Lisa Marie. New Jersey Mike's New Jersey-based sandwich chain is being acquired by Blackstone at a deal valued at approximately $8 billion with a B. This transaction, expected to close in early 2025, aims to accelerate the chain's expansion across the U.S. That's right, New Jersey has taken over the world and beyond, while supporting technological advancements.
The chain's impressive growth, with 2023 sales of $3.8 billion with a B, has allowed it to gain market share from competitors like Subway. Blackstone's investment follows its similar acquisitions in the franchise space, positioning Jersey Mike's for even greater growth. And this truly is one of my favorite business stories ever. They started down the shore with one single store. And look at what they have been able to turn this into, a small mom and pop business, and now they're taking over the world.
They're also big into philanthropy, which is very important, making sure that they give back to the community, especially around certain occasions of the year. It's always great to hear, to have that local connection back to the community.
Yeah, every March 30th is their day of giving, and 100% of the sales go to charity. Like, no one makes a dime that day. And people come out and the place is packed, and they have the best tuna ever. So it's a win-win for everybody. As the holiday season approaches, gatherings will often feature festive drinks, and for many, alcohol-free alternatives like mocktails offer a seemingly safe choice. However, our next guest highlights that for individuals in recovery, mocktails can present unique challenges and even trigger setbacks. Here to explain is Clinical Director at Recovery Centers of America at Raritan Bay, Caitlin Moore. Caitlin, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Great to have you with us, Caitlin. So explain, because it was kind of surprising when I read that, how mocktails might not always be the safe alternative for someone trying to stay sober. What, in your experience, has been the case?
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually very typical for mocktails to be considered super safe and a great alternative to regular alcoholic drinks that you might see at holiday gatherings. However, for folks that are in recovery, we experience some unique challenges around this time of year, specifically related to mocktails, because the mocktails themselves are meant to mimic a regular alcoholic drink, like a virgin pina colada or a martini or a margarita, right? So these, the fact that they mimic these alcoholic beverages, they can be triggering psychologically to folks who are in recovery, especially newly in recovery. And they can cause psychological triggers and cravings, which could lead to a lapse or a relapse. So they're actually considered to be not as safe as previously thought. They can also lead to normalizing, the fact that we always put drinking and holiday celebration in hand. And actually, that's being perpetuated in our society when in fact, folks that are in recovery, they really want to have the opportunity to be open without having to hide behind a mocktail. Right. So, when we normalize drinking at social gatherings, it kind of says you have to drink to be here and enjoy yourself. And even with mocktails that appear and taste very similar to alcoholic beverages, folks might struggle with being open about their recovery status and the fact that they don't want to engage in drinking. Additionally, we see it as a slippery slope for folks that are in recovery, especially newly in recovery. Mocktails may act as a gateway to actual alcohol use or going back to their substance of choice. So, I think that one of the biggest issues and concerns that we see is that it really perpetuates the stigma surrounding being in recovery and substance abuse. And that's one of the biggest things that we're trying to combat against in our field, is that perpetuating stigma and that concept that being in recovery is not a good thing. So, by perpetuating mocktails and saying you have to have some sort of similar alcoholic beverage to enjoy while you're at your holiday gathering, you may be put into a compromising situation if you're in recovery.
This is so interesting because when you hear the mocktail, and it's such a craze, right? Like sober bars and everything, you don't think of how triggering it could be for someone with a problem. But you don't want to run and hide at the same time, right? You want to live your life. You want to go to that holiday party. So what tips do you have for those in recovery that can still go out and enjoy themselves?
For sure. That's a great question and something we talk about frequently in treatment with folks that are, going back out into the real world and living in recovery. So some good options for folks that are in recovery and are looking for alternatives to mocktails would be, your basic, simple spring water, mineral water, things like that, fresh fruit juices, smoothies, some other festive beverage options that you can find at your local coffee shops. Herbal teas or hot drinks are also a really good option. And specifically things like apple cider or hot cocoa, because those are really big this time of year too. And you can still feel like you're enjoying the holiday season and celebrating in that way without having to have a mocktail or an alcoholic beverage. Some specific advice that I might offer to folks that are going into the holiday season while in recovery are being honest about your recovery status. I think that's really important because folks tend to hide behind the stigma and they're afraid to share the fact that they're in recovery. So it's okay to be honest about your recovery status, but you don't have to over-explain things. You don't have to go into detail about your history with substances or struggling with alcohol use. You can just very simply say, I'm in recovery, so I'm staying sober. Setting boundaries with folks that might be putting some pressure on you to drink, like, oh, it's okay, just have one, no problem. But that can really cause people to feel very overwhelmed and stressed. So, setting boundaries and being prepared to say, I'm okay, I'm really good. And one of the ways you can do that is by preparing some responses. I'm really enjoying my smoothie today, so I don't need a mocktail. Thank you very much. I'm sticking with water tonight. Thanks for understanding. I think the biggest piece that I want to bring out is that being an advocate for yourself and also being confident in your recovery are two of the biggest things that we work on while we're in treatment, because it's okay to be in recovery. And I think that's the message that we really need to be able to spread, and that and the message that we want to be sending out there with our folks who are in active recovery.
And Caitlin, you bring up such a great point about taking control and taking charge, and telling people that you're just not drinking tonight, and you don't even have to make it awkward. But if there is someone who wants more information, you have a hotline that you can call.
Yes, that would be 1-800-RECOVERY, and you can give us a call at any time, and we are available 24/7. It doesn't matter holidays. It doesn't matter, if it's 2 a.m., please give us a call. We're available for support. We're available as a resource. We can get you associated to any treatment resources that you might need.
1-800-RECOVERY. Very easy to remember. Caitlin Moore, Clinical Director of Recovery Centers of America at Raritan Bay. Thank you so much for joining us on the New Jersey Morning Show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Some great advice there.
Yeah, and I think it's also important for the drinker too. If someone's not drinking, maybe be a little more mindful,
Sure.
maybe to figure out why that person might not be indulging. Because, you might be putting pressure on someone that doesn't need any more stress. Well, we will be right back with more New Jersey Morning Show right after this.
Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show, Thanksgiving edition. I'm Mike Favetta, along with Lisa Marie Falbo. The U.S. Postal Service has launched Santa's Gift Shop, an online platform in partnership with Toys R Us to simplify shopping and shipping for the Operation Santa program. So participants can adopt letters from children in need and then select them from a catalog, and then get this, have them shipped directly for free with orders over $49.
That's so amazing. Future plans include expanding the catalog to include clothing and books. Participants are encouraged to act quickly to ensure gifts arrive on time, while unfulfilled letters can be returned for others to adopt. What an amazing program. There's so many kids out there in such need, and everyone deserves a Merry Christmas.
And just a click and ship makes it convenient. A lot of times half the battle is after you've purchased it, then you got to get it to the right place. So this makes it a lot easier for everyone.
I love that.
And in other holiday news, Winter Wonder Lights, New Jersey's largest animated holiday light show drive-through, is set to dazzle visitors at the Middlesex County Fairgrounds starting on November 29th. The family-owned attraction features over 1.5 million synchronized lights, including a towering 30-foot Christmas tree, themed tunnels, and a tribute to military and first responders.
Visitors can enhance the experience by tuning their car radios to holiday music synced with the lights. Winter Wonder Lights operates nightly through January 5th, with extended hours from December 20th to 28th. Visitors are encouraged to reserve tickets in advance. I love those shows, and one of my favorites is more in North Jersey, and I'm sure you have been to the Turtleback Zoo and their whole light installation. It is so awesome what they do there.
They're so much fun. Even driving up the Parkway, and you see what they do at PNC Arts Center. Yes. And you can drive through that as well. You kind of get a glimpse of it, like a preview, without actually going in if you're driving by. So much to do around the Garden State. You don't even have to travel, very far to enjoy the holiday spirit.
Not at all. Well, Mike, do you have your tree up yet?
Oh yeah, put it up 2 weeks ago because we didn't know when the baby was coming, so we're like getting it in, and then we're ready.
Well, did you go real or fake?
No, we go fake.
Okay. I go fake too. I go fake with the lights already on. So it's like a three-part thing. Yes.
Makes it so much easier because then you're not having to struggle and figure out, which light is burnt out. So it does, modern technology, man, let me tell you, it really makes a difference. And it's funny you mention that because it's something we bring up every year as part of the weather forecast, and like how climate change would be influenced by taking a real tree and putting it up in your home and then throwing it out with the trash, or having it turned into mulch, or using the plastic tree and the fake tree. And it turns out there's like a 3-year kind of equilibrium where if you keep that fake tree for more than 3 years, you're doing good for the planet. So good job on the fake treers.
Who knew laziness could help the planet? Because that's what it's totally about, right? Just the laziness factor. And the tree I have is from QVC, and I could have white lights or multicolored, and they could blink. Like there's like 10 different. What do you like, the multicolor or the white?
So there's like 8 different options. I think we found a happy medium of like pastel, like muted colors. Yeah. We must have the same tree. But I put mine on voice activation so I can control it with my phone, have the kids say, "Hey G, turn on the tree," and it's fun to, show off.
Yes, it's so much fun. I love how we are on the same page with our tree. And I'm sure we are on the same page with this as well. The 7 fishes, your family partakes, yes?
We do. It's multiple fish, going from even the not so ordinary, kind of throwing in some shellfish in there, and making it all about a tradition that is highly Italian American, yet it's just it means Christmas Eve.
Of course. Well, you're gonna have a literal present, right, under your tree. Because the due date is when?
Due date is December 22nd. However, we're kind of hoping it happens a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Just because we're ready. We're at that point. Everything's ready. Just waiting on the baby, and it'll be a nice early Christmas present regardless.
I mean, to have that little baby under the tree, and you have to take a picture of that. It's the ultimate. I am a December baby, so I am rooting for December 12th because that's my birthday. But that is literally what my parents did. They had the tree, no presents, just me.
Oh, that's nice. That's or we'll take a video of wrapping up the baby and say, "Okay, here's everybody's Christmas present."
Yes. Yeah, because you can't be responsible for anything else, especially that close.
No.
And then you have the Christmas card pictures to look forward to next year.
I know. And given how, technology's been pretty good to us, wondering if the baby comes early enough, do we get the Christmas card out in time with the baby's photo on it? I think it's possible. A lot of these companies can do a fast turnaround, so we'll see. It'll be a challenge, but we'll see.
Yeah, Shutterfly, I'm so last minute with everything. I can't believe I got my pictures done before Thanksgiving. That was another adventure. We went to a Christmas tree farm in Mendham, and it was an hour of just debauchery. Joey just ran around climbing trees. Liana was crying. We got one single good picture. So that's what everyone is getting. And that's what I said to the photographer. All you need is one. So just remember that.
That's right. One. And think about how many Christmas cards you get after the 25th. It kind of, they keep on coming in the mail right in through New Year's. So I think we've got some time here. I think
you do. You're gonna be great. I can't wait to see the baby. And it's a surprise. We don't know the sex. We don't know a name. We know nothing.
Nothing. All a big surprise.
Yeah. Well, I admire the willpower. Well, that does it for us today on the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo.
And I'm Mike Favetta. It was great being with you for this Thanksgiving edition. We've got more news, talk, and weather as the New Jersey Morning Show is back after this.